How do you know that, though?
Look at me, Ty.
Yeah.
Come on.
You ain't got to tell me twice to look at you.
Stop it.
Because you didn't make a connection,
And you're putting it to me
I'm not
as if
putting that on
I'm the
you.
one that needs to come to you and shows you that I care about you.
Hey there. Sorry about the late uploads. I'm back to working evenings at work, so they're going to be my reviews are going to be late. I hate to be right, but I called it when Scott and Catherine were in a very good place and they were very calm and very peaceful. I called it that it was something was going to happen, and here we are. They have exploded. This has happened. The same thing happened with Rishi and Andre. The same thing happened with Maddie and Whitney, and now with Catherine and Scott. Obviously Ella and Ty are always a revolving door of crazy, so the producers cannot spin anything for them. They spin themselves. And Ella, well, she's reaping what she sowed. Instead of focusing on what she wanted, she listened to the people around her. She listened to Katie, she listened to Jess, and now her couple is exploding. Hey, it is what it is. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island, Season 10, Episode 32. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, a comment, and turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos. So the episode starts off with Scott and Catherine. Catherine, I've always felt iffy about Catherine because I haven't been sure about Catherine because I didn't like the fact that she didn't like Andre, went to Zach, and when Zach treated her badly, she went back to Andre and said she had a connection with him. And then once Scott showed her interest, she went to Scott and settled with Scott, and now she's with Ellen. So I was a bit off on her because of the fact that Andre had a good thing going with Richie, which could have lasted until the end, but she stepped in and made it seem like he had a chance with her, and yet she wasn't feeling him that way, because had she been feeling him that way, we would have seen more emotion after Andre left. But anyway, I digress. So she sits down to have a chat with Scott, and personally, I would have said to Scott, I know we said we were close for the here and now, but when we got to Casa, I really embraced the experience. I got to know the guys and I developed some sort of connection with Elam, and I've brought him back because I want to see how strong that connection is, whether it was just something that's fleeting or whether it's something that I can build on, and sadly I'll have to disconnect from you. I think Scott would have accepted it that way, but the idea that she came in hot saying that how dare you say everybody at the fire pit was calling you the person who was playing me when you were the one that was wrong. He is entitled to be upset because he did not expect this. He had Gabby, who was really interested in him, and he turned Gabby away, saying that he was focused on Catherine. And so for Catherine to then turn up with someone on her arm doesn't make sense to him. So he is justified in his anger, and Catherine needs to take ownership of her actions and sort of stand there with her full chest. Because if you're going to bring someone and say, this is the person that I've connected with, this is the person that I want to build a connection with, then say it with your full chest. There's no need for you to demean somebody else. She even acknowledged that when Scott called everybody to the fire pit, he did that because he wanted to defend her. And given how badly Zachariah treated her and refused to apologize, the fact that Scott summoned everybody to the fire pit and confronted them should have been enough to warrant him respect from her. I didn't like it. And the fact that she tried to bring in Whitney has nothing to do with that. And Whitney is right to say, you need to calm down and contain your emotions, and we don't behave like that because she's a black woman. If she behaves like that, people are automatically going to tarnish her with the angry black woman brush. And seeing how Tanya was treated last season by the fans, I wish she had sort of composed herself. She is better than that. If nothing else, if she decides to continue with Elam, she still needs to pull Scott and apologize to him for the way she behaved. But sadly, as I predicted this, the producers have got the toxicity that they wanted from Scott and Catherine, and now one of them will go home, and my money is on Catherine going home just because the fans seem to have stood behind Scott because he came across as the aggrieved person. So I have a feeling that Catherine, sadly, this is her ticket to go home. She signed her ticket to go home, and the fans are most likely going to send her home instead of sending Molly back home. But anyway, I digress. God, I don't even know who's more delusional. Is it Zachariah and Katie, or is it Leah and Montel, or is it Jess and Sammy? Anyway, so Zachariah sits down to have a chat with Katie, and he tells Katie that, you know, he's back with Molly. He's asking about Casa. Katie says, you know, she didn't want to bring anyone because she didn't feel that it would be being honest to herself, and she felt that in the villa the only guy she got along with was Zachariah. That was a mess. That was a mess. The idea that Zachariah thinks that Molly is it for him doesn't make sense. The idea that Zachariah or Katie might think she and Zachariah make a better couple, that also doesn't make sense. Both the two girls do nothing for Zachariah. They don't bring out his personality. They just boring with Zachariah, who is already a quiet person and needs someone who's a bit more vocal to sort of bring him out of his shell. So I don't know. It is what it is. And then Leah and Montel. This man has the audacity to say that the guys sort of coaxed him into going to kiss Tink. So what? Did they hold his hand up to the terrace? Did they sit him down and make him kiss Tink? Did they go into bed with him and Tink and make them do whatever they did? And the fact that he said, "Oh, she was touching me." What were you doing? If that was the case, why did you not own up at the fire pit and say, "No, don't make it seem like it was more than what it actually was. You were the one who came onto me. I didn't come onto you." Why did you not say that? That gives him a very bad look, because Tink is going to go on interviews and she's going to say her side of the story and it's going to be embarrassing. I can't wait for the reunion for the three of them to sit down. And the fact that Leah got over that so quickly didn't make sense. And then Jess, oh my God, Jess, what the hell? What the hell? Somebody needs to give her a slap across the face so that she can wake up. Or pour cold water on her. The fact that Sammy is telling her, "Oh, I did kiss Gabby and Amber, but I always thought about you." So you kissed these two girls. You thought about me, but you still brought one of them back to the villa. Does that make sense to you? Make it make sense. And for just to say, "Oh, I know Amber is here and she's I am the only one who knows Sammy's true feelings, so I am able to sort of know what he really feels." And it's like, why do you allow this idiot? I'm sorry, I said I would never call people names, to play with you. Why? You're a grown woman. Behave like it. There's no need for you to put up with whatever Sammy's giving you. And for Sammy to say, "Oh, well, I kept Amber back because I felt she needed more time." More time for what? I called it in my last video. I said Sammy had an agreement with the producers. That's my impression, that if he keeps Amber behind, then they will keep him on the show longer. I can see him outlasting Jess if Jess cannot recouple with somebody else. That's just my opinion. There was a clip of Zachariah speaking to Catherine, and I'm curious because I know Zachariah is the closest to Scott, and I'm curious to find out because the producers muted their mics, so we didn't hear what they were saying. They focused on Jess and Sammy, which we could have done without, but anyway. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we present the latest season of the Ty and Ella series. Oh my God, they don't even need producers to bring in toxicity. They are the mess that we all need. They are oh my God, the Real Housewives of whatever you want to, Atlanta or whatever you need, the drama. Anyway, so I said it before that Ella has changed Ty and Ty will never be the same. And Ty is going to make her earn his feelings. She's going to make her sweat until he's done and ready. So they sit down to have a conversation, and you can tell already that Ty is not listening. He's not in it. He's just nodding his head, but he's already checked out. Ella's trying to explain her rationale, and sadly, she lets Ty know that she already knew Uzi before he came into the villa, and there was always questions as to whether or not there would be a couple, and that even makes things worse for Ty because Ty is thinking, "So you were playing with me. You actually had somebody else, and then you just continue with that somebody else." And you wasted my time developing feelings thinking that I had someone when you were not mine. Oh my God, I could see this coming. And I don't envy Ella. I really don't, because Ty is now justified in whatever he does, as I said yesterday, that he's going to always carry this over her head, and always, anytime he does something wrong, you'll say, "But do you remember you brought Uzi back from Casa? You brought..." So she has made her bed, and as he said, she needs to lie in it. They tried to talk, but Ty doesn't say anything, and to him, he says, "We're done." He has agreed that he's happy to remain friends with her, but he is done. He is done. And I like the fact that Ella tried to, they were very calm in how they sort of had their conversation, which was totally different to the Scott and Catherine scenario. Ella is taking ownership of, her actions. She is apologetic, which is different to what Catherine was doing. And then Ty just walks off. You can tell the villa is too tiny for Ty. I wish the producers had given him time out. I wish they had allowed him to leave the villa just for a little bit to sort himself out, because even the guys that came from Casamo are terrified of Ty. You can see Uzi, the way he's just side-eyeing Ty. He knows that Ty is seething. Ella is just side-eyeing Ty and keeping out of Ty's way. As soon as Ella and Ty went to sit down, everybody's heads turned to watch the series. And I think they expected an explosion or something, but there was nothing. And then all the islanders go to get ready for bed, and Ty has the audacity to go and hug her and sort of try and comfort her. And it's like, Ty, why are you doing this? You comfort her, and then when you think she's settling down, then you come in and you poke her, and then she starts crying, and then you come in and you comfort her. That doesn't make sense. I think if they bring in a bombshell, Ella's done for. I think Ella has made her bed, and I think Ty is going to make her earn it. So if I were her, I don't want to say she should play into what Ty wants. I think she should have stood by her decision to bring Uzi. Do I think they should have carried on with their connection? No. Maybe she could have continued to have chats with him, but nothing intimate, nothing that Ty might misconstrue and say, oh, you were still carrying on with this guy in front of my face. I think she should still have conversations with him. I think she shouldn't be chasing around behind Ty every single moment she gets, because he comforted her and then he went to bed. I can see KD trying to worm her way in because she was hugging everyone and saying good night, good night. I think if KD is not going to go for Scott, she's going to go for Ty, if for nothing else to make Ella jealous. That's what I get. So in the morning during debriefing, obviously Ty is still furious about what's happened because he's never been in love before and he's never had his heart broken, so he doesn't know how to process whatever's going on, and this is his inner battle and he's trying his best to process it in the best way he knows how. Jess is asking him, so do you mean you and Ella are completely done? And he's like, I don't know, because I'm just processing my feelings at the moment, so I don't know, it is what it is, we'll play it by ear, which I have to acknowledge, I have to accept for that. Ella on her part is talking to the girls, and she's saying, you know, she feels sorry because now she's realized that Ty really cares for her, and you know, she has to take ownership of her actions and sort of try and find a way forward, which makes sense. But then when it gets to Catherine, I don't get why people are saying, oh, Uzi's better for you, you know, he's calmer, and it's like, Scott was just sitting with Catherine everywhere she went quietly. He never said anything. He was very calm. The only time he exploded was when people went behind his back and were sort of waffling about his relationship, and he called them out. And suddenly he's the bad guy for that. I didn't like that. I wish Scott would find someone, or they need to bring him in a new bombshell, and hopefully he'll stay till the finale, because I think the viewers that were supporting Catherine and Scott have now sort of fractured and are now Team Scott, which is really sad. And Catherine is left with the same fate that Ambre had, in the sense that people were supporting him with Richie. As soon as he left Richie, people stopped supporting him, and that's why he's home. And I have a feeling this is how Catherine is going to go home. And then the audacity of Sammy to say to everyone, oh, you know, I kissed 2 girls, but I still have strong feelings for Jess. And you can see everyone just rolling their eyes. Even Mitch is like, oh, here we go again. Oh, I feel I have a stronger connection with Jess. I want to continue to get to know Amber, but I will explore things with Jess. And it's like, why? You want Jess as your backup, so you want everyone to keep you in the filler because of Jess, saying that maybe you will get back to her, but you're not really interested in being in a coupling with her, because every time you have an opportunity to be in a couple with her, you dump her for somebody else. So make it make sense. That doesn't make sense to me. And just on her part is, oh, you know, I really like Sammy, and I'm happy that, you know, we've had a chat, and he said he's still open to getting to know me, and this connection with me is stronger. And it's like, what are you missing? What are you missing that everybody else is saying? This guy is not into you. Stop wasting your time with him and move on. Ella and Jess having a conversation is not it for me. I think Ella, if Ella needs advice about her relationship with Ty, she needs to speak to someone like Whitney, someone who's more neutral, because I think Jess is one of the people that sort of encouraged Ella to pursue things with Uzi. And so the idea that she would give her any other advice doesn't make sense to me. One would think that having spoke to Ty and found out where Ty stands, Jess would have been encouraging Ella, you know, to sort of to try and go back to Ty, because Ty seems is better for her than Uzi. But anyway, it is what it is. And then Ella tells Jess, she was right though, she gave her the best advice, that you have been with this guy, and every time a bombshell has come in, he's entertained them. Every single time he's had the opportunity to pick you, he's picked somebody else. So why would you want to stick with someone like that? That doesn't make sense. And then I think this sort of sunk in because Jess immediately pulled Sammy aside and said, you know, why is it every time you have an opportunity to pick me, you pick somebody else? I know you were single, but the fact is you still kissed 2 girls. And you went, well, I kissed 2 girls, but I didn't cuddle or hug them in bed. And it's like, movie night is coming. Movie night is coming. The idea that you want to lie to Jess and make her feel like she's special doesn't make sense. I appreciate Ty sort of pulling Uzi aside and having a conversation with him, because I think the villa was too hot for Uzi, because Ty is sort of like one of the sort of head people in the villa and everybody listens to him. And so the idea that all the other guys would want to entertain Uzi when Ty is there, I didn't see that coming. Anyway, Katie then receives a text message to say that Katie, Scott, Jess, and Ty are going on a date, a single date. And Ty is ecstatic. He needs it. If they take him to the city, oh my God, look out, ladies. Ty is coming. Ella, you can see her face is downcast because she's thinking, oh my God, what is he going to be up to? And so Ty, Katie, Jess, and Scott go to get ready. So the Singletons leave to go for their night out. And then everybody else in the villa starts to get ready. And Uzi sort of saying that, he didn't realize how strong the connection between Ella and Ty was. And he feels like Ella is sort of mugged him off in the sense that she's brought him to the villa and then she's just dumped him when he could have had an opportunity to know all the other girls in Casa. And it's like, it's your fault. You put your eggs in Ella's basket and decided not to work on anybody else. And here you are, you're facing the same fate that a lot of people have faced before you. Martin, a shining example of it. And if a couple have been together from the start, what do you expect? They're going to dump you and go back to one another. And then you have the Singletons on their date. The evil part of my brain wishes that Ty would try and pursue something with Jess and then leave Katie to pursue something with Scott and then leave Catherine and Ella to watch, because Jess did have an interest in Ty, and I think if they did that, that would really reshape the villa, because then Sammy would have to straighten up, because you'd know that Jess is gone, because Jess initially liked Ty, and Ella would do the same, and Catherine would straighten up because she'd realize that, oh my God, this guy is really going with Katie, and I think that would work better than anything else. I don't even know why they wasted our time showing us Montel and Leah, because nothing really happened. Montel is still blaming the guys for his actions. He won't take responsibility for what he did in the bed, and so I don't even know why we got to see that. I don't know. It was a waste of our time. The islanders get ready and they go back into the main area so that they can have their drinks. Okay, I get it. I get why Ty has over 100 bodies. The way he moved on Katie at the singles date. Oh my God. Ty is smooth with it. He is smooth with it. And the way he moved on Katie, you could tell was falling. And poor Scott is there. Scott, I think, is heartbroken. I think he didn't expect this of Catherine. I think he thought Catherine was something that she then later proved him wrong to be. And so I don't see him trying to move as mad as Ty. Ty is going to milk this. He's reminding everybody that he was closed off, but Ella opened the door. So now that he's single, he's going to do what he does. And what he does is flirt, and he's going to flirt with Katie till the cows come home. So before the islanders come back, the girls are busy having a conversation. They're sort of discussing the fact that they feel that it's in Jess' best interest, to be aware of what Sammy is doing, because she had two guys that were interested in her, but she left them because she wanted to pursue things with Sammy. And yet Sammy every time keeps picking other girls over her. So it doesn't make sense. She needs to stand up for herself. The Singletons return. They're happy. They tell everyone about their dates. And Ty is telling the guys that, he enjoyed himself. He enjoyed flirting with Katie, and Katie was receiving whatever he was dishing. So he's here for that. Scott, well, he's saying he's still, trying to digest what's happened during Casa, and he's sort of trying to find his feet now that he's single. Jess and Katie are just saying, they had a great time on their date, and that Ty is still very hurt and is struggling to cope. And then Ella pulls Jess aside to have a conversation, telling Jess that she's decided to break things off with Uzi. And for Jess to turn around and say, no, you can't, you need to continue to try and see if there's anything there. It's like, why would she do that? She's still going to go back to Ty. She might as well allow Uzi to find someone if he's going to find someone, or might as well allow him to leave with his dignity intact than dragging him along only for her to go back to Ty. That doesn't make sense. So I don't know why Jess was sort of pushing for that relationship, knowing how Ty feels. And then while they're in the middle of their conversation, Ty decides to pull Katie, and you can see Ella is seething. Ella is seething, and Ty is flirting. He is flirt. Ty is very flirty. He's a professional flirt. He needs to teach a masterclass in flirting, because the way he was flirting with Katie and the way she was eating it up is something to be studied in universities, in my opinion. And I have to give it to Katie that she asked Ty that, yes, you were my number two, but the thing is, are you flirting with me just because you're trying to make Ella jealous, or are you flirting with me because you really like me? Because I don't want to be part of a love triangle. I don't want you to waste my time thinking that there is an opportunity for me for only for you to go back to Ella. So if you're interested in me, let me know that you are interested and we can try something. But if not, then stick with Ella. Am I the only person who's frustrated by Catherine? If you've been on my channel for a while, you know if I like someone, I ride for them hard. But Catherine is really frustrating for me in the sense that Scott pulls her for a chat, and then you have Montel in the peanut gallery. They're saying he summoned her, and it's like, no, you guys need to stay out of it. Anyway, I think what Scott is trying to say to her, if you had come back with Elam and told me that you felt a connection, you wanted to get to know him, you wanted to see which connection is stronger between the two of us, that I would have accepted, like what Ella's saying. But the fact that you kissed him is what I'm not on board with, because it tells me that there was some sort of intimacy in that action. And Catherine is, oh, but it's not my fault that I found a connection you didn't find. Gabby was interested in Scott. Gabby was willing to go there with Scott. Scott debated kissing Gabby, but then decided that he felt that he didn't want to jeopardize his connection with Catherine. So for Catherine to say to him, it's not my fault that you didn't have a connection, doesn't make sense to me. This guy chose you out of everybody else. This guy backed you when people were talking badly about your coupling. And for you to treat him like that doesn't make sense to me. I know the editing might be a bit off, but the fact that we see her in the next clip sort of saying she's deaded things with Scott and there's no going back, and she's decided that Elam is for her, and she's ready to build her empire with Elam, and it's like, make it make sense. What is it about Elam that stands out? If you are going to go into a coupling with Elam, as much as he might come across as a great guy, chances are you're not going to get the support that you feel you're going to get. And I don't know how long this relationship will last once you leave the villa, because we haven't seen the build-up of this relationship, so we don't know what is there. And I feel that that relationship is very disrespectful of Catherine and Scott. I feel the way Catherine has gone about it is very disrespectful. Even the fact that she kissed him soon after doesn't make sense. She's still wearing the same clothes. So it's the same night. How can you break off a relationship with someone and then move on and start kissing someone? Even if it's a couple of hours later, that still doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, I digress. Ella pulls Uzi for a chat. They're sort of talking about their coupling and the fact that she's sort of been avoiding him because she's trying to process what's going on. And for me, it makes sense. It makes sense that she's trying to process what she's going through and see where she stands. And I think her priority is Ty, and Uzi has realized that he made a mistake in not getting to know the other girls, because Ella and Ty are a unit that cannot be broken. And then you have Locum pulling Whitney for a chat. I don't know. I think Whitney likes him, but does she really like him that much? I don't know. Their kisses are always very awkward. They're always either standing or one is standing over the other person. As Mehdi said, it's not a French kiss. So, hey, it could be they have a strong connection. I want Whitney to stay in the villa. So if Locum is the one who's going to keep her in the villa, then that's it. But I don't see it. And then Ella's pulling Ty for the chat to sort of confront him about Katie, and it's like, make it make sense. You knew you were dealing with a menace to society. You decided to unleash your beast on the world, and now you're complaining that your beast is running rampage and is sort of attacking everyone. You knew Ty's ego would be hurt by you bringing back Uzi. You knew that Ty would lash out. Ty is lashing out, and now you're complaining that why is he entertaining Katie? What should he do? If there's a recoupling tonight, he needs to be able to recouple with someone. If he doesn't try and explore things, what will happen? What if the 4 singles are asked to stand there and they're asked to choose someone to recouple with? What will he do? So he needs to pursue a connection with someone. I get where he's coming from. He's not kissing Katie. He's not in bed with Katie. He's just saying he's open to getting to know her. Katie enjoys flirting with Ty, so it's going to be what it is. And it's just like, oh my God. I really love the drama that is Ella and Ty. Oh my God, they are giving me life. I don't know what will happen tonight. It seems like there's going to be I don't even know what season we are in the Ty and Ella drama, whether it's going to be the season finale or whether we're starting a new season. Oh my God, I love them. They're amazing. And Ella decides to go and sleep outside because she's been told to dead her relationship with... I think this is what Scott should have done, because Ty has stood his ground and he's held Ella's feet to the fire, where Scott has tried to be nicer to Catherine and be sort of more caring. And because of that, Catherine has treated him like crap, whereas Ty, who's treating Ella, and holding her feet to the fire, Ella is really trying to make amends. So I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. Molly was there, but we barely heard her say anything. And it's like, why did they even bother bringing her back? Because we really don't get to see her. She's out. Everyone else in the village outshining her. Even the Casa boys are outshining her. So I don't know why she's back. But hey, I digress. Thanks, guys, for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Bye, everyone.